Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ. In the previous video, what we have seen is three different types of division questions, right? So the first type was the remainder was same, okay? Then the second was the difference between the divisor and the remainder was same. Then the third category was there was nothing same, right? So this was type 1, this was type 2, and type 3, nothing common, okay? There is nothing common. So what was the method we followed? First case LCM plus the remainder. Second case LCM minus the difference, and third case you need to do manually. You need to expand both series and you need to see which number is coming in both series, and that number you will pick as the first possible number because that is the first number which satisfy both the condition, right? And you have seen enough examples. So this you will keep for round 2, and these two are must attempt round 1 questions when it comes in exam. Okay, so if I give you one more example, what you will do if I tell you there are n books in a shelf. Now this is how you'll make a question. So n books in a shelf. Now instead of books I can tell you there are n number of students in a class. Okay, so let me proceed 2 questions together with the same number and same data information. So either I can tell you n books in a shelf or n number of students are there. I don't know what is n, okay, but I give you a condition. If you divide the books into group of 9, nothing is left out. Okay, so what is that? 9. If you divide, nothing is left out means remainder 0. So n is equal to 9a plus 0. When you divide by 9, nothing left out. That means if the students, if you divide into group of 9, nothing left, no students left out. Like they can make a story, you need to arrange in an assembly. So when you arrange in an assembly, if you make a column of 9 students, no students left out. Now second condition, the same number when you divide into group of 11. So either I can tell you the number when divided by 11 leaves a remainder 7, or I tell you there are n number of books. If you group it into group of 11, 7 left out, or n number of students, you make it into a column of 11, then 7 students will be left out. And how will you represent it? You can write it as 11b plus 7. So this means when divided by 9, nothing left out, 0 remainder. When divided by 11, 7 left out, 7 is the remainder. So what is a number? So 3 different questions I discussed with this same story. What are the 3 questions? A number when divided by 9, 0 remainder. When divided by 11, 7 remainder. What is a number? Or what is the first possible number? Second, I have n books in a shelf. If I rearrange it, if I group it into group of 7, nothing left out, not 7. If I arrange it, I have n number of books in a shelf. If I regroup it, if I group it into group of 9, nothing left out. If I group it into group of 11, 7 books are left out. How many number of minimum books are possible? Third possible way of asking the same question, I have n students in a class, and if I arrange them in an assembly into group of 11, 7 students are left out. If it is in a group of 9, nothing is left out. What is the minimum number of students possible in the class? I can make questions with the same information in different ways. What is the answer? What you need to first check whether it is type 1 or type 2. So you see the remainder is different, not type 1. Then what you will do, you need to check whether type 2. See the difference, 9. Here it is 4. Difference is also not same. So it's not type 1, it's not type 2. That means this is not your round 1 question. You need to solve it, you should solve it, but not in round 1. When it comes to round 2, you first solve the easy questions. Then after solving easy questions, when you come back, this is a must attempt question. This is an easy sure shoot question. You know the method, right? Why you keep it for round 2 also you know. Because you need to do some expansion here. So, but this question is anyway easy. This question you can do it in round 1 also because this is easy. But if you don't find any pattern, I just told you generally. Okay, so first series I need to expand, right? 9a plus 0. What is the first possible number? 9. Then next possible number 18. Because all these are multiples of 9, that's why remainder 0. Then 27, etc. it will go. Second, this if you expand, first number is 7. 7 when divided by 11 leaves a remainder 7 itself. So 7. Then it will increase in steps of 11. So that becomes 18, then 29, etc. But I got a common number here. So I got the common number 18. What does this mean? 18 is the first possible number which when divided by 9 leaves a remainder 0, which when divided by 11 leaves a remainder 7. So what is the minimum number of books possible in the shelf? 18. What is the minimum number of students possible in the class? 18. What is the minimum number possible if you are dividing a number? 18. Answer is same, method is also same. What else they can ask you? They can ask you how many such numbers are there in a particular range. Let's say 1 to 100. Just some simple question. 1 to 100, how many numbers are there? So how will you find the answer? First number is 18. what will be the next number? That's the most important part. The next number will be LCM of divisors. You need to add. What is LCM? 99. You need to add 99 to the first number. 18 plus 99. So actually that will be 107. So the question is 1 to 100, how many numbers are there? Only one number, that is 18. Next number is actually 117. So you know this is going to make an AP. Now third number also you add 99, 99, 99, etc. So this is actually making an AP with a common difference 99. So first term is 18, common difference 99. They asked you the first term, answer is 18. They can ask you nth term, that means A plus n minus 1 into d. N can be anything. If it is 10, you put 10 here. D you know 99. A you know 18. So it can be 10th term, 11th term, 100th term, 200th term, or whatever it is. Now instead of 1 to 100, they can ask you 1 to 1000 also. So you need to see how many such terms are there. How will you find? If you know the last term, number of terms is equal to last term minus first term divided by common difference plus 1. So first term you know, common difference you know, adding 1 is not a problem, you need to find the last term. I already discussed in the previous video how will you find the last term, right? Now in this session what I need to discuss basically is the successive division. Very important concept. I'll give you a very interesting method also. Okay, now how will be the question look like? Let's make a question so that the understanding will be much better. Okay, so successive division is what we need to discuss. Successive division. So till now we have seen divided by 7 leaves a remainder and divided by 8 leaves a remainder. That means n I am dividing by 7 and I am writing a remainder 1. N I am dividing by 8 and I am writing a remainder 1. And the answer is LCM plus 1. That is 57. Successive division means, let's suppose n I divided by 7, I get a quotient and I get a remainder. Now successive division means I divide this quotient by some other number. That's what successive division. First you divide number, then you divide the quotient. And in each case you will get remainder. That will be given. So let's make a question, you will understand it much better. Okay, let's say I have a number n. You are dividing successively by 3, 4, 5. What do you mean by dividing successively? Divide the number first, then quotient, then quotient. By 3, 4, 5 means first you divide by 3, then by 4, then by 5. So dividing a number successively by 3, 4, 5 leaves remainder 1, 2, 3. So what does this mean? You have a number n, you divide by 3, you get remainder 1 and a quotient. That quotient you divide by 4, you get a remainder 2. Then also you get a quotient, that quotient you divide by 5, you get a remainder 3. That's what I mean by successive division. I give you an example. Let's find out the number, then we can do the reverse also, so that you will understand. Okay, so this is a question. A number which when divided successively by 3, 4, 5 leaves remainder 1, 2, 3 respectively. What is the first possible number? After finding first possible number, we can find any possible numbers, because then it becomes the previous question. Then it becomes an AP, and any question which can be asked from an AP can be asked here also. We have seen that enough examples, right? 3 division question we have discussed. So same is the case, but finding the first number is the difficult part. Okay, so how will you find? If you get successive division question, what you need to do is just write the divisors in the same order. 3, 4, 5. Then write the remainders under the divisors in the same order. 1, 2, 3. So 3 the remainder is 1, 4 the remainder is 2, 5 the remainder is 3. So write like this. Okay, then how you get the answer is what I'm going to discuss. Be a bit more careful here. You start from this side, bottom right. Okay, so you will start from this remainder, because any division question what will be left out is remainder. So here you are going the reverse way. You need to find the number. So start from the last remainder which is left out. Okay, now do diagonally, like you go diagonally like this. Diagonally you multiply. Diagonally you multiply. So diagonally means multiplication symbol is like this. So diagonally you multiply. So you get 3, 4, you get 12 here. Then come like this. That means vertically you need to add. So plus symbol is like this. So now you don't have any confusion. You need to move in 2 directions, diagonally and vertically. So diagonally you need to multiply, vertically you need to add. Then here you go diagonally, multiply, comes vertically, add. So how will you proceed? So 3 into 4 you get 12. Then 12 plus 2, 14 here. Then 14 into 3, 42 here. 42 plus 1, you get 43 in the end. So you're starting from here, you will get the number here. And what you got? 43. What is the question? What is the first possible number? And 43 is the first possible number. See how simple is it? What you need to do? Diagonally multiply, vertically you add. Start from the bottom right. Why? Because any division question remainder is left out. So start from there. And you're actually doing the reverse process. So 3 into 4, 12. 12 plus 2, 14. 14 into 3, 42. 42 plus 1, 43. So 43 is the answer. 43 is the first possible number. Why? If you want, we can check now. What they're saying is divided by 3, 4, 5 leaves remainder 1, 2, 3 respectively. And we got 43 is the first number. Let's see 43. Let's divide by 3 first. What is the quotient? Quotient is 14. What is the remainder? Remainder is 1. We are concerned about remainder and this divisor. So when you divide by 3, you get remainder 1. Then this quotient is what you are going to divide. 14 divided by next divisor 4. What is the quotient now? 3 is the quotient. What is the remainder? 2. So when divided by 4, 2 is the remainder. That's what this. Now what is the new quotient? 3. 3 you will divide with 5. So there won't be any quotient, but you get a remainder 3. So when you divide by 5, leaves a remainder 3. And that's what they have given. I hope you understood this completely. Because, see, this is what you mean by successive division. Earlier, you are just dividing by 7 and 8, the same number. Here you are not dividing the same number by 3, 4, 5. You are dividing the number first, then you divide the quotient, then again you divide the quotient. Finally, you can't divide. So we are actually doing the reverse process. So what we actually did is, finally we know here we will get 3 as the remainder. So we are starting from there. What was the previous divisor? 4. So we get 12. Then you add the remainder. What is that? 2. You get 14. What was the divisor? 3. You get 42. What is the remainder? 1. You get 43. So this is what you are actually doing. But let's forget about this now. You just need to write like this and you get the answer. I hope this is clear for you. And in fact, this was a CAT question, actual question. So I give you one more question. Okay, one more thing. So the first number you got, 43, right? What else they can ask you from this? They can ask you what is the second possible number, right? What is the second possible number? How will you find? Same method that we have discussed already. 43 is the first number. 43 plus LCM of what? LCM of divisors 3, 4, 5. What is that? So LCM of 3, 4, 5. So what is your answer? 43 plus 60. That is the second number. Now I tell you the questions which can come from this. I hope you understood the concept and I hope you understood the method. Now it's very simple for all of you because they can ask you any question. Let me make a simple question first. I will make very complex questions also. So first question is this. A number which when successively divided by 3, 4, 5 leaves remainder 1, 2, 3. What is the number? You got the answer? Okay. So how will you get? 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. What you do? Diagonally you multiply and vertically you add. Diagonally you multiply, right? And vertically you add. So you get 43. That is the first number. What is the next question they can ask you? What is the second number? Second number is nothing but 43 plus LCM. That is 60. What is the third number? Again LCM. So you understood that this is going to make an AP with a common difference 60. Now any question which can be asked in an AP can be asked here also. Like what we have seen in case of 3 division questions. I can ask you what is the 10th term. I can ask you what is the 11th term, 100th term, 200th term. So these are the questions. I can ask you first term. You got 43. I can ask you maybe nth term. What is your answer? A plus n minus 1 into D. You know D is 60. You know A is 43. N 10th term means n is 10. So if I ask you 11th term, what is your answer? A means 43 first term plus 11 minus 1 10D. 10 into D is 60. So 643. 643 is your 11th term. Then I can ask you how many terms are there. But just think of it. Can I ask you simply how many terms are there? It will go up to infinity. Cannot be determined. Okay. I need to give you a range. So if I ask you how many such terms are there in the range of 1 to 100, only one term. Because the second term, if you see, that is 103. So 1 to 100, I have only one term. If I ask you 1 to 700, then you got 643 as one term, 11th term. Next term will be 60, that is 703. So 1 to 700, how many terms will be there? You know last term was 643. So what is your answer? Last term 643 minus first term, that is 643, divided by common difference, that is 60 plus 1. So your answer is 600 by 60, that is 10 plus 1 equal to 11. And what is 643? It's actually 11th term only. We got it here. I hope you remember this. We find 11th term. We got 643. Now when we finding how many terms are there, we are getting 11. That is common. That is natural, right? Because we know this is actually 11th term. So obviously 11 terms are there. So, but they can ask you how many terms are there in a range of 1 to 1000, 1 to 2000, 3000, etc. So you need to find the last term. In the previous video, I already told you how will you find the last term. What else they can ask you? They can ask you a question which is based on constant remainder theorem that we have discussed, right? What is that? Simply, rather than asking you what is the first number or what is the nth number or how many numbers are there, they can ask you a number when successively divided by 3, 4, 5 leaves remainder 1, 2, 3. Now I am not asking you any of the question I have discussed now. I am changing the question. I am asking you what will be the remainder when the same number divided by 16. What will be the remainder when the same number divided by 16? So you got the first term as 43. I know this is going to make a series 43 plus 60k. Now when I ask you what is the remainder when divided by 16, the answer is cannot be determined. The concept is already discussed. But if I ask you what is the remainder when divided by 60, what is the answer? Then 43 is your answer. Why? Because that's what constant remainder theorem. In an AP, you take any term and divide by the common difference, you get same remainder in all case. So we know 43 is the first term. So whatever be the number, they are not telling you what is the number. They are just telling you a number which when divided by 3, 4, 5 successively leaves remainder 1, 2, 3. That number can be anything from the series. But if they are asking you when the number divided by 60, what is the speciality of 60? 60 is the common difference. So if you divide by common difference, any term in the AP will give you the same remainder. So my number can be anywhere in this AP, but I just need to take the first number 43 divided by 60. What is the remainder? 43, and 43 is the answer. And not only 60, the factors of 60 will also give you the same remainder. So 60 is the common difference. Factors of 60, that means if you divide, if the question is divide by 30, what is the remainder? You can divide by 30 and see remainder 13. What if divided by 15? 15 is also a factor of 60. So you can divide 43 by 15, you can write 13 as a remainder. I hope this is clear for you. You can divide by 20 because 20 is a factor and you can write 3 as a remainder. You can divide by 2, you can divide by 6, you can divide by 5, you can divide by 12 because all these are factors of 60. But if I ask you what will be the remainder when the same number divided by 16, what is the answer? Cannot be determined. Why? I have no relation with 16 and 60. Any other number, if not common difference and factors of common difference, if divided by the same number, I cannot find the answer. So cannot be determined is your answer. Instead of 16, I can give you 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 1000, 2000 or any number cannot be determined. If it is 60 and factors of 60, I get the answer. If you need one more question, see, you can just make a question. Okay, so, let's make a question. A number when successively divided by 3, 4, 7 leaves remainders 2, 1, 4. Okay, so reminders are 2, 1, 4. Divisors are 3, 4, 7. Successively, so what you need to do? You need to write in the order 3, 4, 7, 2, 1, 4. Start from here. Diagonally, you multiply 4 into 4, 16. Vertically, you add, you get 17. Diagonally, you multiply, you get 51. Vertically, you add, you get 53. So what is the answer? 53. Still, if you didn't understood this concept, what is this actually? 53 divided by 3. What is the remainder? 2. That's what this 2. What is the quotient here? 17, right? 17 into 3, 51. So 17 you divide by 4. What is the remainder? 1. And that's what this remainder. But what is the quotient in that case? 4. So that 4 you divide by 7. What is the remainder? 4. And that's what this 4. And what you're actually doing is this 4 into 4, 16 plus 1, 17 into 3, 51 plus 2, 53. And that's what this 53. You're actually going like this. So what are the questions which can be asked? What is the first number? You got it, 53. Then what they can ask you? Second number, 53 plus LCM of divisors. So what is the LCM? LCM of divisors 3, 4, 7. That is 84. So now you know this will make a series. This will make an AP. So they can ask you the first term. That is 53. Nth term. That is A plus N minus 1 into D. How many terms are there? Right? How many terms are there? How many terms are there? Answer is last term minus first term divided by common difference plus 1. Last term how will you find? We have already discussed it. Same method. Then they can ask you based on constant remainder theorem, right? So in the previous question, if you remember, I asked you divided by 60, what is the remainder? You got the answer, but 16 you cannot get the answer. But here, divided by 16 you can get the answer. The reason is common difference is 84 and 16 is a factor of 84. So if I give you a question like this, a number which when divided successively by 347 leaves remainder 214, what will be the remainder of the same number divided by 16? What do you need to do? Take the first term 53, divide by 16, see what is the remainder, 5. So if they ask you what is the remainder when 16 divide the same number, in the previous case also I asked you, right? So what is the answer here? You generally what you do, 53 divided by 16, 5. But that's what most of the people do. That's not correct answer. Why? Because if you take the next number, 53 plus 84, what is that? 137. When you divide this number with 16, you get a different remainder. What you get here? You get 9 as the remainder here. So you are getting two different remainders and you don't know what is the number. Number can be anything in the series, right? But if the question is divided by 84, what is the remainder? Then it is easy, right? Because 84 is a common difference. Then constant remainder theorem is applicable, right? How? So you can divide 53 by 84 and you can write remainder as 53. Not only for 84, any factors of 84 if you take, you can apply the same. I can ask you, what is a remainder when 42 divide the same number? What you will do? You take 53 divide by 42, write the remainder 11. Very simple. So what you need to see is, if you get such kind of question, what is the type? You got the question first, right? So when divided by 347 successively leaves remainder 214 respectively. What is the remainder when the same number divided by, let's say, x? Okay, now let me generalize it. Let's say x. Okay, so what is the question? Divided by 347 leaves remainder 214 respectively. What is the remainder when the same number divided by x? Now this x can be anything. Now what you need to see is the x is the common difference or not. What is the common difference? That is the LCM of divisors. So what is that? 84. You check whether x is 84. That means the question is whether divided by 84 or not. If it is divided by 84, you can directly get the answer. Just take the first term. What was that? 53 here. Divide by 84. Remainder is 53 itself. Or what you need to do, you need to check whether the divisor which is given as factor of 84. Like, what are the factors? It can be 42. That means 2 also. It can be 21, 4. Then what else? 14 and 6, right? So 14, 6. So etc. Okay. So if it is factors of 84, then you can divide, right? Because factors of the common difference will also give you the same remainder. So if it was divided by 42, then what you will do? 53 divided by 42, you will write 11 as the answer. If it is 21, 53 divided by 21, you will write again 11 as the answer. If it is 14, 53 divided by 14, you can write again 11 as the answer. Or similarly, you can do with 2 and 4 and 6. But any other number, if I give you in this, if this x, if it is 16, I cannot answer because 16 is not the common difference, neither the factor of common difference. If it is 100, no way. If it is 200, no chance. 300, no chance. For that matter, any number I give you, except the common difference and the factors of common difference, cannot be determined as your answer. If it is common difference or factors of common difference, just take the first term, divide it. If it is not the common difference, if it is not the factors of common difference, cannot be determined as answer. I'm repeating the same thing again and again, right? So what all things we have discussed? We have discussed all division questions. So what was type 1? Remainder same. Remainder same. What was the method? LCM plus remainder. One example if you want. 7a plus 1 is equal to 8b plus 1. That's the number, right? What is the answer? 56 plus 1, which is equal to 57. So 1 is the remainder. Remainder is same. Second type, type 2, what is that? Difference. Difference between the divisor and remainder is same, right? So one example if you need, 7a plus 2 is equal to 8b plus 3. So n is equal to 7a plus 2, 8b plus 3. Reminders are different, but the difference if you see 5, here also 5. What is the answer? LCM minus difference. So 56 minus 5, 51. What is the third type? There is nothing common. So type 3 is your round 2 question. These two are must attempt round 1 questions. Okay. So type 3, there is nothing common. 9a plus 0, 11b plus 7. You need to do it manually. And when you did it, you got 18 as the answer. So what we got here is 57, 51, 18, etc. were the first possible number. I also told you this will make an AP with a common difference based on the given divisors, right? Here, what will be the common difference? 7 and 8 are the LCM, so 57 plus 56k AP. Here also 7 and 8, so 51 plus 56k. Here 9 and 11, so 99k. You get an AP. So any question which can be asked in an AP can be asked here also. What is the last question? Successive division. I hope you understood completely about successive division. One example, 3, 4, 5. When you divide successively, leaves a remainder 1, 2, 3. What you do? You write in the order. Diagonally you multiply, you get 12. Vertically you add, so 14. Multiply, you get 42. Add, you get 43. And you start from here. You reach here, what you are getting here is your answer. 43 is your answer. This also will make an AP with a common difference of LCM of divisors. 43 plus 60k. Any question which can be asked in an AP can be asked here also, like what we have discussed. So these are 4 important division questions which you can get in exams. Forget about SSC or IBPS. I am discussing at a much higher level. So first type, remainder is same. Type 2, difference between divisor and remainder is the same. Type 3, nothing is same, that's your round 2. Fourth type is successive division. I hope this much is clear for all of you.